Okay, we're live. It's Farmer Ben speaking, and this is an extra special stream all the way from Blacketyside Strawberry Farm. And we've got some viewers coming on already, which is great. And we are here with Farmer Alice.
Hi everyone.
And Mr. Robert Todd.
Hello, folks.
And Robert's mic'd up, so hopefully you can hear him okay. Let me know in the comments. Alice is going to be in the comments as well. And she's going to kind of keep us right, make sure we're answering questions if anyone has any. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be a really exciting stream. I've been really excited to come here. Robert's kindly gave us some of his time. He's a very busy man with loads of strawberries. It's unbelievable how many polytunnels are around here. So I'll not tell you how many people are watching, Robert, just in case it unnerves you. Okay?
It will only unnerve me.
So it's only us here. Just think it's only us here. So hi everyone. Say hello to Robert. That'd be great. Give him a big welcome to the stream.
Hiya, folks.
It's lovely to have a guest on, isn't it, Al?
It is.
Lovely to have a guest. And yeah, are we coming across okay? Is our mics okay? We're having some technical difficulties earlier, but I think we've got them ironed out now, and you should be able to hear us. And yeah, let's do it. Let's go for our tour. So we're in our first polytunnel. Robert's handpicked this one to show everyone. So tell us a little bit about the strawberries, Robert, if you can, and what your kind of method is.
Okay, well, welcome to Blacketyside, folks. And it's just to run you through strawberry production here at the farm. We're all on tabletop production, so the strawberries are all up at waist level, so for easy picking.
Yep.
We've got them here in grow bags. And in the grow bags is not compost, but koya. Have you heard of koya?
Never heard of koya before.
Koya is coconut bark.
Okay.
Wow.
So the byproduct of coconut bark, koya. Great material, good free draining, so plants love it, okay? So if you think of the grow bag, it's 1 meter long. It can vary different planting holes, whatever I want, depending on what variety of strawberries I want to grow. But usually about 10 planting holes is the norm.
Okay.
Okay. And we've got the water pipe, which comes along here as well. It's into the grow bag, so it's feeding the strawberries.
So they're all self-watering as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
So strawberries are fed through the water system. Food is in with the water, and this is how it's done. So
I see. So it's a mix in with the water.
it's
so
a mix in with the water. It's a mix in with the water. And here we've got all the leaves up in behind a band cord here. Why? To keep the leaves up out of the way so that the fruit's well presented into the light.
Easier to pick as well.
Easier to pick for the pickers.
Yep.
Because then the pickers can come along and very easy. Yeah. So what does the picker do? Gets the strawberry, turns it around, see that it's red. If it's red, they'll pick it. If it's got white on, they won't. So here, turn, and then we pick by the stalk. Yeah. Our fingers never touch the strawberry.
All right.
We pick by the stalk and into the punnet.
And into the basket.
And into the basket.
Right.
Because that way there, you're keeping the strawberry in good shape. If I was to go to pick here by the shoulders, I would be squeezing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so bruising.
Damaging it. Or if I was to pick, the two strawberries would be coming together.
Right.
Also the damage. Okay?
So every strawberry has to be individually picked.
Individually picked. That's the way we train the pickers.
Right.
So we do. Here we've got a round pipe here, you can see. It's run right up the poly house. The idea of this round pipe is, this part here is called the fruit truss. This part here. And the truss is over the pipe. Why? Because to stop the truss from kinking. If the truss was to kink, the food supply wouldn't get through and you'd have very poor development.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the idea of this white pipe, is to get the truss coming round gently, you see? And as I say, we've got these 5 drinkers into the bag, and that's feeding and watering. So what
is this your drinkers here?
That's the drinkers, are these wee black pipes.
So this is what's feeding all the strawberries?
Yes.
All these little pipes coming in along here?
Yes. And here's the...
Robert, I'm just going to adjust your mic 2 seconds, if that's all right.
All right.
You hold that.
Take that.
Goes that, and I'm going to put it up there. That's
There you
us.
are.
Should be good now.
Coming in loud and clear.
Think we're loud and clear. Everyone, let us know if you're loud and clear. We should be.
Yep.
Good.
Carry on, Robert.
Right,
Carry
so
on.
then this is where the water drinker here will be down in the bag, okay?
All right.
Yeah, go down in there.
And
So
does that just drip feed in all the time?
So it chips in feeds. How does it feed? It feeds. They're feeding in blocks of 60 tons.
Yep.
And they're feeding for 5 minutes on the hour.
Okay.
So one block, come on, water, 5 minutes, shut off, next block on. All electronic valves right up the line.
Right.
Okay.
And that's how they do it. So what's the planting cycle of the strawberries, okay? So this is a second crop production, okay?
Yep.
It was picked for the first time last end of August, September.
All right. So
Okay,
you don't plant fresh plants every time they've been harvested. You use them for a few harvests.
2 harvests we're taking out,
Right,
okay?
okay.
Because this strawberry plant here is called a June bearer.
Right.
That's what we class it as, a June bearer. It'll give you the big kilos in the month of June.
Ah,
Okay?
right.
Okay.
Okay, right? But then we've also got other strawberries on the farm, which is called everbearers.
Right.
Okay.
And they're planted in January. And how they work is, whenever they come into fruit production in May, they would give you little and often, always flowers, yes,
Okay.
always small fruits developing,
Yep.
right up to bigger white fruits and then turning red. So everbearers is non-stop. It'll pick from May to the end of October, non-stop.
Right. Okay. But just at different periods.
At
It's
different-
not all ready to go at the same time.
That's right. Well, June bears throws you big kilos more at one go, sort of thing. But
What strikes you straight away, and from me not being to a strawberry farm before, and the scale, of course, as soon as you drive in, it's like, wow, the amount of polytunnels that are actually on site is crazy. But it's the yield that you get off them. I mean, it's a huge ton of strawberries just from one strand on one plant.
yes, so if you think of that plant, there it was planted, taken from a cold store, because we keep the plants in a cold store. So the plant thinks it's winter,
Right.
and then we take them out and we plant them at these June bears. We plant them, say, the first week of July.
Right.
Okay, first week of July. Oh, the plant thinks, oh, spring has arrived, so we're better grow. You see.
Right.
So then they will pick August, come September.
Right.
Right. August, September.
So they're pretty
Yeah.
quick growing then.
Pretty quick growing.
Yeah.
60 days, 55, 60, depending on the weather.
From planting to picking.
Yeah, depending on the weather. But if you've got cold weather, surely it's going to take longer.
Yeah,
But
of course,
warm weather will come on quicker.
And if it's too warm, is it a bad thing for the strawberries as well?
Yes, we don't like it too hot. Why? Because if it was too hot, the strawberries would go red at a small size.
Right. Okay.
Well,
Oh, right,
Scotland's
yeah.
unique for growing strawberries because the colder climate, long daylight hours, strawberries get time to develop
Yep.
before turning red. Yeah,
They're much
So that's
bigger.
why they end up much bigger.
that's why they end up bigger, end up sweeter, longer time to mature. So you see, the plant is taking in sugar through the leaf,
Yep.
and that comes via the sun.
Right.
And the more time that the strawberry gets to take in sugar, the better. If you're with me.
Okay.
So sun's coming on the leaf, it's translating down into sugar, and sugar into the fruit. Okay. So Scotland's unique for that. And but if you think of taking you back to that growing thing, if you think of planting that strawberry in the first week of July, it's picking August, September. Then when it's finished picking, we give the plant a clean up by taking off all the old runners and any fruit that's maybe not
Not
picked
matured.
it, yeah, matured. Say we've got into October, days are colder or something. So we clean that all off, and we clean in around the necks of the plant, and put them like to sleep for winter.
Okay.
Right.
Then the following year, we'll close the polyhouse doors very early.
Okay.
Say like sometime second, third week of January, start to warm up to get them to start to grow and to come on. And then when we've taken this second crop off this plant, come at the end of June, this will be finished picking. These plants will go out, and the grow bag goes for recycling, and the coir and the plant goes for fertilizer for the fields.
Right.
And next crop planted in a new grow bag.
So everything is used again, basically, as much as you physically
As
can.
much as we can.
As
And the
little
beauty
waste as
about the
possible.
coir is you're using up a product that is from recycled material.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
So you're not disturbing the peat bogs and things
Yeah,
like that.
exactly, yeah. And that's a mega important issue at the minute, isn't it?
Oh, and for us, the coir is far better because it drains so good, while compost on the second year was sort of choke and sort of
Aye,
filter up.
yeah. It goes hard, doesn't it? It clumps together
Oh,
and
it
stuff.
is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's coir is
That's the boy that you need.
Yeah, that's fabulous. But there's a lot of work in all that growing. It's just not a matter of planting and feeding. Okay. Whenever the plant, we plant and she starts to throw out all these flowers, we've got to do what we call leaf and flower separation. So the leaf will go in behind the band, and the flowers we take to the outside.
Okay.
Why? Because when the flowers are all here, the bumblebees can come along and pollinate.
Oh, is that right?
Someone did ask if they needed bees. To
Yes,
pollinate.
yes.
Wow.
So there's a beehive in every polyhouse.
Wow.
Oh, really?
A beehive
Yeah.
in every farm?
There's a beehive
Wow.
in every polyhouse. It's just a wee cardboard hive,
Right.
and it's a bumblebee, not a honeybee, because a honeybee doesn't like in here because it's too hot.
Okay.
All right.
On a hot day, yeah. While the bumblebee will work, no problem.
Quite happy.
Oh, it's happy. You see?
So can we see this, Robert? Where's you running this?
So it'll be, well, if it's not at this end, it'll be up at the far end. But come on, we'll go for a walk.
Yeah, let's
and we'll
go
see.
for a wander. Let's go for a wander
Yeah.
and see what kind of scale each polytunnel's on. So how many polytunnels like this one are you operating just now, Robert, to keep up with the demand for the strawberries?
At the moment, we'll be picking roughly around about 120 polyhouses at the moment. So we will. But the main season production, it won't start until well into June. And at that point, there'll be over 700 polyhouses.
Oh, wow.
Will be
700 just like this. Can you imagine how many strawberries that actually is?
Well,
Yeah. And there they are right there.
well, the polyhouses run, depends on the shape of the field, so we don't want to waste any land. So what we do is we'll have some polyhouses only 50 meters long. This one here is about 125 meters long.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but the biggest is about 250 meters
Wow.
long.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 250.
Double length of this.
Aye.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you keep adding them on, Robert, or is that you at your limit now?
Well, what I was going to say to you, I've got two boys that's very keen, so
Right, good.
we've built a new big pack house and cold store, so the boys are quite keen on the job.
Keen to move forward, keen to
Keen
keep
to move
expanding.
forward. It's a lovely crop to work with, but it's a difficult crop to grow.
Right, okay.
Difficult crop to
Bit of
grow.
a science in it, is it?
There's no room for any mistakes.
No,
No room for any mistakes.
definitely not. Any questions coming through, Al?
We had one with the strawberries going at the tabletop. Does that help with the frost, the ground frost? In the spring?
So what we'll do is we can also put a fleece right over this here.
Right. Okay.
So a
All right.
fleece from there right across. Just that
So if it's to be particularly
if we
cold.
seen that there was going to be late frost in the springtime, we'd have to take some precautions
Right, okay.
to try to help ourselves.
So to grow a strawberry, does a bumblebee need to come in and pollinate these little flowers?
Yes, there has to be pollination. No pollination, no strawberry. So the bumblebee will come.
They're crucial then.
There's the flowers, yeah. So the bumblebee will come and light on here. And if you see that in slow motion, it's like, as soon as it touches here, it's like an explosion.
Oh, really?
Wow.
It's like an explosion, pollination. And that's it. The flower then is changing, transforming into a strawberry.
Wow.
It's just wonderful.
It is, isn't it?
It's just wonderful.
Isn't it fascinating the way nature works as well?
Yeah.
Heather is saying, hi Ben, I'm in Blacketyside Farm at the moment. I live in Kenilworth. Where's that, Robert?
Oh, Kenilworth is just a few miles up the road.
Oh, well, there you go. I've got some locals watching. Chrissy says, does it smell good in there? It does smell good. It smells lovely. And everyone, let us know where you're watching from today as well. Put a little like in the stream if you're enjoying this different kind of content that we're bringing. We're excited to show you where all the strawberries are coming from for our Strawberry Festival coming on Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So they're all coming from Robert. They'll be coming from some of these plants, or potentially from some of these plants, you never know. And they're certainly all coming from this farm. So if you are coming to our Strawberry Festival, this is where your strawberries will be coming from.
If you've got some questions, pop them in.
Yeah, if you have any
comments
questions,
for Robert.
do pop them in there. Lydia's watching from Tennessee, Robert.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My
So Robert,
goodness.
so for those of you who don't know, Robert is all new to this.
You're right. I'm the old school.
He's old school. He's never experienced the kind of the live streaming aspect of Facebook, and he couldn't quite believe it when he said how many people were watching and how many comments and likes and stuff would be coming in. You're watching from all over the world, so it's great to be able to tell him exactly how the stream works. So you're teaching us a lot, and we'll be teaching you a little bit about
You're right.
live streaming as well.
I'm learning a lot today. Yeah. So I'm looking for the beehive. It should be up.
Looking for the beehive.
Up here somewhere.
Amazing. 700 polytons are beehive in every one. That means you must have hundreds of thousands of bumblebees going about.
Oh yes, always for sure. And then big poly houses, there'll be 4 maybe beehives in them because they're so long.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, they're split up with beehives right up here.
So is the whole bit not buzzing sometimes?
Oh,
Someone did ask if people ever get stung with them when they're in here.
oh, the picker will get stung now and again, but it's it's lots of times it's their own fault. If they see a bee, they shouldn't go. Yeah.
Leave it to do its work.
Just let the bee alone, and the minute you come in doing something like this here, bee thinks it's under attack.
Yeah, so that's when it attacks you.
Yeah.
So how far are these off picking, Robert? Are some of these ready to go?
Yes, these are ready to go.
And when will they be picked, do you think?
So this here will be picked tomorrow morning.
Oh, definitely.
We'll be in here maybe about just shortly after 5.
Okay.
Right. And what's their working day? What's the picker's working day?
So we start early. We started trying to aim for starting for 5, and then if we're in hot weather, we stop during the day because it gets too hot to work inside the polyhouse. So then we would stop, we'd break off for a while, and then go back again. But that will happen when the high temperatures come about, you know. Right. But this is Scotland. We got lower.
We don't need to worry about that too much, do we, Robert?
No.
How many varieties? Someone asking, do you grow? How many varieties?
Oh, varieties. Oh, there's lots of varieties. Lots of varieties. This one here is Magnum.
Magnum.
Yeah, and then we've got Mauling Centenary.
Okay.
Oh, there's El Santa. That was one of the older favourites, but we still grow
El Santa's an old favourite, is it not?
Yes.
That's what I used to get at the fruit market when we had the fruit.
Yes, we still grow some El Santa. People still want it, yeah.
Right.
And then moving into Everbears. Oh.
Any number.
Many different types.
You know.
And how many do you grow on the farm, Robert? How many varieties?
We'll have about 7.
Right, okay. So
About
you
7
stick to the
varieties.
ones that you like, because some are proven for you.
Yes, if you get a strawberry that you like the flavour of it and all, that's the one you'll stick with.
Right, okay.
That's the one you'll stick with.
You can feel that sun's coming in. You can feel how warm it is in here.
Instant heat coming in.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
That's amazing. Just phenomenal.
So in terms of how many strawberries that you're aiming for just now, Robert, how many are you aiming for a day? How many are you aiming to pick a day?
So we would be running. Like last week, the temperatures were cold. This week the temperatures are cold too. So last week we picked about 50 ton, but
so 50 ton every. For those that don't know,
over 6 days.
So Oh wow, really?
Aye, 50 ton over 6 days.
Wow. So your average, what's that? Just about 8,000 kilos a day.
But then we'll rise.
That is insane, isn't it?
But
8,000 kilos a day. That's.
But then we'll rise up into peak production. We'll rise up into maybe 22, 25
right.
tons a day.
That's incredible.
That's in the peak production.
The logistics involved in that must be incredible, just to get all those strawberries fresh into the punnets and off again.
Yes. So the pickers do a good job in the field, and whenever they do a good job in the field, it's off to the cold store to get them into the cold store to cool them down.
Right.
And then whenever they're cooled down, off down the packing lines, and then away to supermarkets or our farm shop or wherever after that.
Wow, brilliant.
That's how it's done.
The scale of things is just unbelievable as well. So, do you have lorries coming up and down here constantly to take them away, or do you take them to somewhere yourself?
Yes, we've got our own lorry, so it runs out every day.
Right.
It's loaded maybe twice, 3 times a day on the peak times, you know. And then all the lorries come in and get stuff. If the strawberries to go south, organised transport does that.
Yeah.
We'll do all the Scottish transport.
Okay.
What we're doing, you know. And that's how it's operating, you know.
So what kind of events have you provided strawberries for, Robert? Is there anything?
Oh yes, we get asked to do a lot of different events. We
obviously ours being the most glamorous and prominent event, I'm sure.
Well, we did strawberries last weekend to Balmoral.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe the Queen's Residence takes over.
So there must have been some visitors up at Balmoral, and we did the strawberries for the tea parties in Edinburgh that time the Queen would come.
All right, yeah.
And then we did it for it was for Princess Anne's daughter getting married. One of them got married that time in Edinburgh. We did the strawberries for that as well.
Right, wow.
So yeah, we get
just about an extended part of the royal family.
No, it's just it's nice to get asked to do that job.
Oh yeah, definitely. What an honour.
Nice
and also, what a great pat in the back. Obviously shows your it's prime quality, doesn't it?
Well, we try to focus on doing a good job.
Yep.
And you know, where we get our satisfaction from is turning out quality fruit, continuity.
Yep.
Every day go out, you know.
That's it. It's all about the quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how you get your reputation.
We work 6 days a week. We don't pick fruit on a Sunday. So we try to give the workers a day off if we can.
Yep, we don't open Sundays either. We're exactly the same.
And then there's the students. Then they'll have one other day off a week as well. Every day there could be axe workers with a day off. You know, that's right, we split it up over the week. Yeah.
Stagger it.
Yeah, stagger it.
I suppose you kind of need
beehive for you.
Oh, we'll find it. I've got every faith.
It has to be here somewhere.
Elaine says, I've heard strawberries keep for weeks in your refrigerator if kept in a sealed glass jar. Is this recommended? Is that right?
What's that?
Strawberries will keep for weeks in the fridge if you keep them in a sealed glass jar, she says.
There's a new one for me. That's a good one.
I've never heard of that one before.
No, I'm learning here.
There we go. Elaine, you're teaching the Strawberry King about strawberries.
Thank you for
that. Shelley says, this is so interesting. Thanks for sharing from Ontario, Canada.
My goodness, wonderful.
Do the bumblebees make honey and does it taste like strawberries? I think it's a honeybee that will make honey.
It's a honeybee makes the honey. The bumblebees just out here to do the work of pollinating, and they have got a short life cycle of only X number of weeks.
Okay.
And then after that they die off. Yeah.
Right, okay. So they're constantly reproducing all the time. So.
Uh-huh.
Right, that makes sense. So that's what they're actually on the earth to do.
Uh-huh.
The Lord's put them on the earth to pollinate things. That's the reason, isn't it?
It's tremendous. They're the farmer's friend. Without them,
yeah.
we couldn't do it. All these crops, oilseed rape, You know, everything. Pollinate.
So, do you need to be careful with the pesticide? Do you use any pesticides? Do you have to be really careful what you do to not harm the bumblebees?
What we do is we put in a lot of predators.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
So if we were, say, to get things like a spider mite or any of these different things, we would put in predators, sprinkle it on the top of the leaves,
All right.
and then they would feed on the other.
Right.
So
Okay.
just cut out the chemicals.
Right.
So we're investing heavily in that every year.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
So if you get a bug that's potentially damaging your crops, you introduce something that's going to kill that bug.
You've got to wait till you see the problem arriving first,
Okay.
because you can't put in the predators if there's nothing to eat.
No, of course, yeah.
You've got to wait till you see a bit of a problem arising, get them in then, and they'll take care of it.
And how successful has that been for you?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Is it?
Oh, it's fabulous. Fabulous. It's just amazing how things are moving on.
And how did you get into that, Robert? Did you have a kind of consultant that came round that said?
Yes, there's an agronomist comes all the time.
Right.
Well, not, you could have say like once a month, especially growing season, and he will know exactly when these problems would sort to arise after planting.
Right.
So gives you tremendous advice.
So he's quite crucial to the operation as well.
Tremendous, you know, because it's all good information fed to you that then you're lined up with these people who supply all these predators, and they're just waiting on your order, and you have to have your order in for a certain time during the week. They have them landed to you the following week.
So what does it look like when they arrive, these predators?
Is it
just little jars of them?
So some of them can be in just wee white buckets, and then we've got little scoops that we know from one stand to this stand is 2 meters, 2 bags there. Okay?
Yeah.
And we know what our rated amount on this wee scoop should be. So we sprinkle this scoop here onto here. So that's the proper ratio that you do, and then you move on again. So then you've got an army of people doing this for you.
And
it's all put on by hand.
Does the problem only occur per polytunnel, or can it spread between all the polytunnels as well?
Sometimes it's more likely just to be in a certain area.
Right.
Yes, but what was I going to say to you? Like a more of a concentrated numbers in a certain area, but then you would have still some numbers, but less quantity out in some of the other pollinators. So you just treat all with the predators and
that way you're able to stay pesticides free. Is that
there's to cut right down and that there, you know. The plant breeders.
I mean, that's massively important for people just now as well, isn't it?
Oh, this is
keeping the pesticides. I mean, no one's wanting to eat pesticides, are they? So it's
no, this is it. You want to try to have the whole thing environmentally friendly.
Definitely,
you know. So it's great modern technology how it has moved things on, you know. Tremendous.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Tremendous.
We've got a lot of questions. How many pickers do you have at the height of your season?
Oh yes. How many pickers at the height of the season? When we're all now tabletop production, right?
Yeah.
But one time we used to have about say 300 when we were down on soil production.
Okay.
300.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now we can pick more tons with 50 less people.
Wow.
So we're running around about say 250 at the peak of time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a lot of people, isn't it?
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. But
of course, if they're up here, it's so much faster, isn't it?
It's so much
efficient.
faster. Yes, then.
And what kind of, I can't even imagine how much of a job it must have been going from soil grown onto tabletop production. That must have been a huge operation, was it not?
It was a huge operation of changeover.
And when did you change on to that?
So we've changed over in say like this past from 2002.
All right, so quite a while ago. So
2002, we started to gradually bring it in.
Ah,
We
right.
couldn't do the whole farm all at once, but we started just to bring it in. So now the whole farm is tabletop production on strawberries.
Yep.
We've got 8 different fruits. We've got strawberries, we've got raspberries, we've got brambles,
Yep.
That's the big
Blackberries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got blueberries.
Oh, wow.
We've got red currants and black currants. That's the wee tiny ones.
Yeah.
And gooseberries
Wow.
All right.
and cherries.
Lovely. Wow.
Cherries.
Oh, by the way, your cherries are absolutely phenomenal.
You've had them then?
Of course.
Yeah.
I've tried most of your fruits that you just said there from Glasgow Fruit Market when we used to go up and down, because we had a farm shop during COVID, and it'll be opening up again soon. And we always went for Blacketyside. That's why I phoned you first, because it's the premium product, so your reputation goes before you.
The cherries is we experimented with the first field of cherries 8 years ago to see how they would perform in Scotland, and it was a great success. Cherries inside a polyhouse, yeah.
Right.
It's much bigger polyhouse than this now. It's much higher on the ceilings, yeah.
Right.
And there's 2 big rows of trees down the polyhouse, okay. But we keep the cherry trees pruned into a shape that it fits within the polyhouse.
Right.
And we're growing dark sweet cherries.
Right.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm a big cherry fan.
Yeah. Whenever the cherries, the first time they arrived down at the farm shop, and we had put up Blacketyside cherries, the locals could hardly believe it that you could get cherries in Scotland, you know.
So when do they get picked?
So the cherries would come in round about, say, the end of June.
Okay.
End of June. We don't want them too early because if we compete against the English growers whenever they're in full production, it's not a good idea. We wait till they're
you don't want to flood the market, do you?
We want to wait until they're mostly through, and then we'll come in behind that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same as the blueberries. We don't want early production blueberries. We want more of a later production.
I've heard from good sources that your or experienced as well, but heard and experienced your blueberries are also fantastic.
Oh, they're phenomenal. The blueberries, very popular. Very popular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Superfood, aren't they? A superfruit of blueberries.
Tremendous keeping quality.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know,
stay fresh for a long time.
Oh, keep fresh for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, blueberries is great.
Really versatile kind of fruit, aren't they? You can use them for more or less anything, can't you?
Oh, aye. Very popular. Whenever the blueberries start, you'll see the shop more and more people coming in too, because that time you've got a range maybe of 8 different fruits on display.
Wow.
So she can pick up different selections of whatever day she wants, you know.
Yeah.
And what we do is we keep the price of our fruits all the same price per punnet, but the punnet fluctuations in sizes. Yeah. So your strawberries will be in 400 gram punnets. Yep. Yeah. While your raspberries are in 150 gram punnets.
Yep.
Okay.
But we do like a price match so that if a lady's coming to the till with 5 different types of fruit, it's easy for the girl to register through the till. Just to make it simple. You know?
And also for everyone who's watching as well, and it is coming to our Strawberry Festival, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on catch up, we are getting some raspberries from Robert as well. I hope you got my text, Robert, about the raspberries.
That's right, you did. Your name's in the book.
We are getting some raspberries as well. The raspberry season is just starting, Robert was telling me earlier. So they're just slowly coming through now, but I think we're getting some of the first crop of the season.
That's
really,
right, you're getting the first crop coming through.
So yeah, they will all be on sale. Blacketyside raspberries and strawberries will be on sale in our Strawberry Festival as well. Anything else you can show us? Oh, we're going to find the bumblebee thing. This will be the only polytunnel in the whole farm that doesn't have a bumblebee.
The problem is, it could be in any one of these 4 rows. Yeah.
Is it on the?
It'll be up in the stand. So it'll
be
up in the stand. Well, come on, let's take a look at the next one, and we'll see.
And a good farmer always appreciates a lovely concreted yard.
Yes. A nice tidy concrete.
Lovely, tidy concrete yard. I mean,
this is our new pack house here. We've just
it's immaculate all around the farm.
We're just finishing it off now. There's a new wind chill tunnel getting built under the side, so we're just getting it finished off, and so we've completely rebuilt it on the new. My old pack house started off in this old traditional building here.
Oh, did it? No way.
Yeah. That's where it started up 30 years ago.
How things have grown.
And then we had what we thought was a big pack house, but then we outgrown it.
Yep.
And then this is the latest one we've done.
So another question, Robert, is you've got your 8 different fruits. Is it only your strawberries you're expanding, or are you expanding raspberries, blueberries, cherries, and everything? Or are you just going for overall expansion? Or
We've done a huge expansion on the cherries. We've done a huge expansion on the raspberries as well.
Right.
And the blueberries, I think it's the next going to get.
It's next in line.
Yes, seems to be next in line. It's a
in your
very
crosshairs.
popular fruit, and
Yep.
we don't have enough to cover our needs.
Right. Okay.
So it looks as if they'll have to expand as well.
Right. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. That's what you want, isn't it?
People are asking, do you make jam? Which we've seen you make your own jam out of your
Yes, down at the farm shop, the girls make their own jam for the thing. So it'll be raspberry on the serving tables with the scones and the raspberry jam and clotted cream. That will be on the serving tables. Very popular.
And we picked up a blackberry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is there any chance of us getting a few boxes of jam to sell over the Strawberry Festival?
Yes, we'll see what there is.
We'll get sorted afterwards. We definitely want some of that. Yeah, that would be lovely. So
Yeah.
we'll get sorted.
So you haven't went into jam production yourselves?
No,
No.
Lord no.
Yeah.
Not. I've got no time as it is, so I can't put anything more on my plate. Nothing more on my plate, Robert.
But no, come on and see if we can find you some of these beehives here.
Let's see if we can find one of them. I'm fascinated.
The foliage is so great. They're so hard to find now. You know.
I know. I mean, look at even for everyone watching. Look at how vibrant green, standing on end, well pruned. Everything. It's so satisfying watching, looking right down those rows.
If you get down there and let them see the fruit when it lets you see all the kilos hanging on the trusses.
Wow,
yeah.
And it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And everything's looking like every single plant, which is amazing to me. Every single plant is looking so healthy. You know, it's not. You've not got one that's looking like, you get in your garden where you get one that's, every single one is looking perfect. So,
and here we put My Packs
I
on
can
the
smell
floor.
them from here, they smell amazing.
This product here is called My Packs. We put it on the floors to help keep down weeds. Yes, we still get some weeds popping through.
Yeah, of course.
But not at the same extent.
No, definitely not. It keeps your feet clean and keeps it clear, doesn't it?
And keeps it sort of semi-tidy, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so most polytunnels, Robert, do you have to give a quick skim over, see what needs picked every single day?
Aye, so we'll get into crop rotational picking. So then we'll know, say, if it was a block, say, of 50 polyhouses,
right, we
know we're going to pick, say, maybe 25 of them today.
I think people are saying.
All right, do you want to move back over?
To move back out.
Okay.
Sorry, just a wee bit dodgy signal.
It's the sun blocking it, is it?
That's it.
Aye.
So we should be back in. I think we should be okay. Maybe just drop.
Your mind's not frozen, but hopefully. Yep, there we go. We're okay, I think. Possibly on people's. I think that's us.
We're all good, guys? Yeah. Let us know in the comments if we're all good, if we've stopped freezing. I've seen so many comments coming. There's some. Give us a like in the stream if we're still freezing or whether we're okay. Sorry, give us a like if we're okay, not if we're still freezing. Give us a like if we're okay. There's loads of likes coming back up.
Yep, that's it. We must be back on.
Yeah, we're all good. So you go into block rotation, so you pick one day and then can you leave them a couple of days?
Aye, so then that would be the idea. So you would pick that block and then leave it for, say, come back on the third day.
Right, okay. And then they're ripe again to pick?
Yes, because if you send pickers into a field too quick, they would be inclined to think, not enough here to pick, so they would maybe inclined to pick something with a little white shoulder on.
Just too early.
Which we don't really want, you know. Yeah. So wait until they're red and let them do it like that, you know.
You can actually see right the way down into the polytunnel at the far end as well.
Yes, because this row goes down and then there's a centre break and it goes down again. Yeah.
Can you see right the way down into the other polytunnel, all the way down there, all full of strawberry plants. Everyone says all good at the moment. It's been okay, mate. Yeah, we're we're transmitting absolutely fine. So is there anywhere else you can show us, Robert, while we're on stream?
Yes, let's see if we can go and get you some raspberries. But the raspberries I'll show you. There's raspberries here, but they're not actually picking as yet. But it'll let the people see
Yeah, definitely.
how they're growing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So just follow me.
I think we've been frozen on people. Take it.
If you're watching, guys, if you can still hear us and you're frozen, just swipe off and then load the stream back up again. We'll come back, no problem.
You can see this is just a little picture.
Oh, this is a tiny amount. You can see right the way down, like both sides, and then the whole landscape this way is full of strawberries as well.
Wow.
Oh.
Quite a difference here.
Yeah, that is a difference.
So this is taking you into a polyhouse of raspberries. This one here.
I have to say, I've always wanted to see how you actually grow a raspberry, because I always thought it was in a bush, and it's not. What would you class it? It's kind of a bush.
It is. It's grown from the cane. Yeah.
Right.
So if you think that we are growing here in grow pots.
Right.
Yeah. We've got 2 metal rods down here with bricks here to keep the pots suspended off the ground.
Right.
Because we don't want the plant to root into the soil.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So.
See a clean break between the ground and the
yes,
plant.
if you're with me. And if you ever had a problem with a root disease, it's just confined to that pot. It's not contaminating that one.
It doesn't ruin the whole.
Yes.
The whole line.
Yes. So if you can imagine the wee pot, again we're putting coir in it, and we're putting in 2 raspberry canes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we put in 2 raspberry canes, then we tie them in here amongst the wire and the strings. Do you see the wee clip?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it secured, right? So that's just like a piece of cane, but then the bud breaks, and here your fruiting lateral coming out.
Oh, is this them starting to come out?
This is them starting to come out.
There you go.
You see it?
Wow.
So there's your baby raspberries.
Look, there's flower.
And you can actually see it coming from the flower, can't you?
Yes, you see it starting to form. Yeah. And then taking you on to here, look, there's bud, do you see?
Wow.
Yeah.
Bring that back down, Robert, so I can see it. There
See,
you go.
there's bud, do you see?
So that's the flower. That's the flower just about to bud.
And here's flower breaking open. Do you see this?
Wow.
Yeah. And look, there's late flower breaking open with the raspberry starting to form.
So, and is this the same? We need bumblebees in here as well.
Again, bumblebees in here too. Yeah. There. You'll see them flying on the ceiling.
Wow.
Can you see them up buzzing around the top of the polytunnel? I can see it on our screen, so we should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to see them. So I mean,
you'll see them lighting on the flowers.
It's unbelievable. You can have all this set up and all these hundreds and hundreds of polytunnels and hundreds of people here, but without a tiny little bee, you would have nothing.
Well, you'd have nothing.
Oh, there you go, behind you.
You would have to close the doors if you hadn't the
Oh,
bumblebees.
wow.
Yeah, there's raspberries starting to form.
Lovely.
So how far off would these be from picking, Robert, do you think?
So these here will need another maybe. There's just been an early break on flowers there because the majority of them is still in bud. But what I was going to say to you, this here would be, if you can imagine the whole polyhouse like this here, we would wait until the fruit is not dark red, just sort of turning that way, because then it's a gentle squeeze, like picking with 2 hands, holding here, gentle squeeze, and it would come away.
And does it come with the flower?
No, it'll come off.
Come hollow.
It'll come hollow. But
like yeast,
it must be at that certain stage to make it come away easy. If you've got a pull,
it's not right.
It's not right.
It's not ready for picking.
Yeah, it's not ready for picking. Strawberry, your hand won't touch the shoulders of strawberry, while the raspberry's different. You must.
You would have to, wouldn't you? There's no other way to actually get it off.
No other way, yeah. But the old system was growing the raspberries in the soil, and they used to last anything from 7 to 10 years. But then you had to move to a new field, and you had to set up production again. While this way here, we can use the site repeatedly, year after year after year after year.
And same situation, 10 years roughly for a cane, or do you do it?
No, we have to. We will take, say, out of this cane here, we'll take maybe 3 crops,
Right.
and then again new plant.
And are you
Because
able
what
to
we need
produce
is what we need is good vigor
right?
and big raspberries, and
You want them as healthy and young as possible.
yes, to get that good size of raspberry, you know.
And can you produce your own canes now, or do you have to get them in?
No, we buy them all in because it's a specialized breeders who's just working totally on cane production,
Right.
and they have, the benefits of they're not fruiting on their farm; they're just growing cane.
That's what they focus on.
Yes, so they can keep the cane healthy and clean, so that it comes to the farm, it's in prime condition.
Yep.
For us to take it on ahead. Yeah?
Right. Okay.
So, if you think of us buying strawberry plants, we're buying hundreds of thousands of strawberry plants every season.
Yeah.
And that's a specialized job for specialized growers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's important to get them right.
It's very important to get them right. Yeah. Well, there's some of the predators there now. See that wee box there?
Ah, no way.
It is. That's some of the predators.
Interesting.
So that's what they
So
call
the
them.
wee box is just hanging on the wire, and they're coming out.
And look, there's got the picture of what it is in there, I take it. Is that what's in it?
Yes, that's it.
See the fly in there? So that's what's obviously in there, and then you just hang that on, they all jump out and away they go.
And they jump out and they go, and they're feeding on the insects, the problem that's going to do the cane harm. Okay, but if you take a like of an aphid would be here on the not really this side of the leaf. They'll be working here, and what would they be doing? They would be taking the moisture out of the leaf, moisture out of the plant.
Right.
So the plant needs to have the leaf to get the sugar into the fruit. So the aphid would do a lot of harm, while these wee ones here's keeping it all tidy and all clean.
Yeah, well, it is. It's brilliant, and it's great. I think it's great that you're not using pesticides as well, because that's such a big thing for people now. Eco-friendly, isn't it?
Well,
and it's important for the environment as well, not just for people eating, for the environment as well. It's very
the
important.
the whole industry has moved leaps and bounds forward. It's just tremendous, you know.
Whereas years gone by, I'm sure it'd be sprayed constantly with different things.
Yes, years gone by, that's what.
But no one, I guess, really thought anything of it back
we didn't
then.
have these things,
No.
you see. So it's great that all these things are now available.
I bet you couldn't believe it when you first tried this out, like, let's try and put a
You won't.
predator in and see
Will
if
it
it's
work?
actually going to
Will it
work.
not?
And it
Yeah.
goes in like, oh my god, it's actually worked.
I know. It's
What a revelation.
I know. It's
You can actually see these plants here, especially up the top. I take it that's because it's getting more light or something, but it is hanging with little buds and flowers.
That's right.
And you
That's
can,
right.
when this is in peak production, it must just about be completely red with raspberries in
It
here.
is. It's red with raspberry. And you see what happens is, there's no way you're going to get a picker to pick up there, right? But what happens is, whenever this here turns into fruit and turns into heavy fruit, all these laterals will bend down
Ah, right.
with the
yeah,
weight,
yeah.
so the girls can get it then, no problem.
Right,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
So nothing's out of reach really by the time it
No,
starts
it'll
bearing fruit.
it'll be fine. If you still have some big tall ones, we'd put some big tall boys up first,
Yeah.
and the girls would come behind, you know?
I mean, you can see some down here. It's funny how some of them just burst out kind of quick before all the others. There you go. There's a couple just starting to come through there as well. So they are looking absolutely fantastic, and it's going to be. I'd love to see it when it's in peak production. How red and the smell and everything. You can hear all the bumblebees in here, so it's obviously they're obviously extremely busy.
Oh, you see me, but and if you see, look how good the fruit development is up at the top. It's
Oh, so it is, yeah.
It's
All
getting
the
a lot
fruits are
of
coming
light
through.
up there. It's getting a lot of sunlight up there, you know.
So what did you say? Sorry, Robert. It's about a few weeks off before these are actually starting to.
Aye, so this polyhouse here will be about maybe 3 weeks away, depending on the weather we get. If we get good weather, it'll come in maybe quicker, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunshine is the thing that'll bring it forward so quickly.
So if
yeah?
you get a good, nice few 20-degree days, then
Yes,
then
and-
it's a booming production.
Warm nights is the
Warm nights.
answer.
Yeah.
Warm nights.
I always remember when we were in the farm shop and we're looking for strawberries and everything was short. All the boys kept saying it's too cold at night.
Too
We're not
cold.
getting the yield. Too cold at night.
Too cold. I said it's whenever you get them warmer nights, that's when production will step
Will
up.
really rise. Yeah.
Really step up, But look at them bees, they're flying.
I know they're coming right for me.
Yeah.
They're heading about. Unbelievable.
Someone's asking, there's quite a few people, birds coming in here if they're doing
Oh, we've got wee birds nesting in the strawberries.
Okay.
Because it's just a wee paradise for them,
Aye, of course
because
it is, yeah.
they're inside a poly house. They're inside this middle of a plant. They've got all these insects round about them to feed on. Perfect place to bring out the family.
And did they eat the strawberry?
Huh?
Did they eat the strawberry as well?
No, a blackbird would maybe eat the strawberry, but the normal skylark and all, no, they're just working on
So it's perfect
insects.
environment.
Yeah.
So you just leave them in there?
We just leave them in there, and we've got young leverets, young hares going about,
Right.
because this is where the mother would leave the young hare. It's safe,
Right.
and you'll see her coming in maybe towards dark, the mother coming in to feed the young leverets. So
it's a whole ecosystem going on.
and there's also a polyhouse way down the bottom. It has a foxhole
All right.
in it. So again, the foxes come and buried underneath the thing, because it's getting shelter in the end.
Nice and warm. And
Aye, so
exactly like a paradise.
aye.
Right, we have been on for, I think we're heading towards an hour, aren't we?
Are we? My goodness.
Yes.
It disappears. There's nothing quicker in your life than when you go on Facebook live stream. Time disappears. And we've had nearly 1,500 people watching all the way through from all over the world. So if everyone in the comments can say a massive thank you to Robert for giving us his time.
Not at all.
We don't want to take up any more of his time. He's probably, how many more hours have we got? Work till it's dark, Robert.
We'll go to dark.
Another 5 hours.
We'll go to dark.
No problem.
We'll go to dark.
Bev says, this has been so interesting. You learn so much. And that's all down to Robert. So thanks for taking us along. I could listen to him talk all day. There you go, Robert.
No problem. That's okay. Glad you've enjoyed it. Yeah. If you come to Scotland, you need to make sure you give us all a visit.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. If you're coming to Scotland, we're in the Kingdom of Fife. Is that right, Robert?
That's
we're in
right.
The Kingdom of Fife.
They call it the Kingdom of Fife.
And yeah, absolutely. Put it on your bucket list. Blacketyside Farm.
Lovely farm shop.
Yeah, lovely farm shop. It's absolutely wonderful. So, like I say, we are going to be selling Blacketyside jams, strawberries, raspberries, whatever else I can convince Robert to sell us for our farm shop and for the Strawberry Festival. We'll do whatever we can. So it'd be great to see you over the Thursday, Friday and Saturday, which is the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. You can buy tickets online, or you can just pop along and we'll see you then. And yeah, celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, and what a fantastic achievement, 70 years for the Queen.
Tremendous achievement.
Tremendous. What a wonderful lady. So yeah, it's something that should be celebrated. I hope you've enjoyed the stream today. There's been loads of stars coming through as well, so again, thank you for that. And yeah, we'll leave Robert to it. Say thank you once again. So thank you, Robert.
Thank you, folks, for
really
watching.
Enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the stream as well. And we'll see you tomorrow for an update on all the animals. I've got my sunglasses on, it's really rude. For an update on all the animals. And yeah, the strawberries will be arriving tomorrow, so ours will be getting picked hopefully tomorrow morning. So really excited for that. So we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.